Alright, so if you guys have been watching me and you watch all my videos, you'll know a while back I was having problems with my sub, and like it was turning on, but I could not adjust the bass knob, and it wasn't actually even like no sound was coming out of it. But actually when I replaced my battery um to a new one, it actually fixed the sub. So I don't know if I was just not getting a good voltage or a good power supply to the battery, but now I fixed it. But now that I got that working again, now I'm ready to upgrade all my speakers in the car. So I'm going to be adding some tweeters and then upgrading the rear ones and the door ones on the front of the car. So hopefully this should be pretty good. I did buy some of these, which should make it plug and play for this car. But hopefully, I have noticed that it looks like the back speakers were modified before, or like replaced at one point. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to even use these, but if I can, that'll be great. If I can't, then I'll have to just splice them in. So, but yeah, with that being said, I'm upgrading to these JBL speakers. And I heard good things about these, and all the reviews were pretty good. So I'm hoping to get a little bit better sound quality out of this car. So, and JBL is nice to go with because it is a Toyota. Toyota uses them as like their premium sound system. So it'll be nice to keep that, and also just get some better sound quality in general. Alright, and if you guys are interested in picking up your own speakers, I will leave a link down below. I ordered all of these off of Amazon. And I'm hoping that a lot of these will bolt right up. I don't know if we're going to have to modify the frame at all, but they look like they do come with some other frame too. Comes with screws, and it even comes with a little Torx bit or whatever they use. And then the front are just 6-inch round. And the tweeters, I'm not exactly sure. I just ordered what this JBL brand had. These are 3/4 inch. But if we have to modify anything to make them fit, we will. I'm not sure if this is to help splice into the front speaker. I don't know if that's what this is, but I was gonna have to do that anyways, but I don't know what this specific thing is. So it comes with all this. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the front speakers first. On my car with the crank windows, there's a little clip behind this. Pop that off, and that's holding this on. Then after that, there's 2 screws right in here, and then there's gonna be a screw down in this panel here. Alright, so getting a closer look. So these are the stock speakers, and they're riveted on. So we're going to drill these rivets out, unplug this, and this whole thing should come out. Alright, so I drilled out all the rivets, and I got my other speaker out. And you can see how tiny that magnet is on the back versus this is literally the whole magnet. So this is going to be a pretty nice upgrade from this. So there's going to be a few options that we can try to do. Either try to reuse this assembly or try to rig something up with what they have here. So, but then these cables here, so now this will literally just plug right into the speaker. So you don't have to do any splicing or anything like that. But yeah, so that's the thing, is not all speakers are made the same. All mounts are different. So you can see these 3 original holes that the rivets were in, and that's where these line up here. I might try to cut this out and reuse this one because this will be the easiest method. But you have this other mount that they come with that will mount pretty closely. We might have to drill into the door and thread a screw into it. Alright guys, so I got this kind of mocked up, how I'm gonna have everything. I just want to kind of show you what I did. It comes with a plastic piece that has really long tabs sticking out of it, and then it comes with a metal piece. So what you're gonna do, alright, so it comes with this metal piece that says right here speaker side. So you're gonna kind of, so it's kind of hard to explain, but you're gonna take this metal piece, and then there's gonna be some, so there's two different screws that come with this. So there is the like wood screw, almost the very coarse thread screw. That's what's going to screw into the plastic, and that's what's going to screw this metal plate together into the plastic. But now, once you have that put together, you're going to take the other screw, which looks more like a machine screw because it's a very fine thread, and there's threaded holes on this metal bracket. And then you're going to put the speaker on, and then you're going to run this hole through here, and then it's going to mount to that bracket right there. So that's pretty much how I have these mounted now. And so all I have to do is take the fine threaded screw and put my speaker up against it, and then thread it into the holes. Thread it into the holes that are on here, and that'll mount the speaker to this. And all I did here was just pre-drill a hole with a 3/32 drill, and then I just took these screws and just drilled them through the speaker into the door, and then you can see them sticking out there. I have already checked too to make sure my window does not come close to these screws. So just make sure when you do mount it that the screws don't hit. But now I'm gonna run the wires down into here. Before it was coming out of here because the speaker plug was on the top, but now this is gonna be inside the door, and so I just kind of tucked it behind the plastic here and then ran it down here. So now I'm just gonna mount this up onto here and then plug this in. I was looking at the tweeters. I'm gonna have to do some stuff to make these work because the tweeters are too small for what I got. But because the factory hole that is in here, I'm guessing they're 1-inch tweeters. This housing almost makes it fit good, but it will not snap in. Either I will like glue these in place or try to make a strap or something to hold these in place so that way they don't come out when I'm driving. Trying to come up with an idea how I'm gonna splice these tweeters in to the door speakers. I think I know what I'm gonna do, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I literally just took one of the plugs that came with the little plug from that I ordered that plugs into the door speaker. I cut one, splicing in this wire here to this, and then I'm going to splice in the connectors so that way they can plug into the actual speaker. I'm hoping this will work. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it makes sense to me. Electrically, it makes sense to me. I don't know, like stereo wise, if it is or not. Some people who probably are like audiophiles are like, what the heck are you doing? But I'm just going to try this. I don't see why running the tweeter in line with the door speaker is a problem, but there might be some distortion. I have no idea, but I'll try it and let's see how this goes. Alright, so I got these things soldered together. Not the best solder, but it should hold. I'm just gonna double check this real quick just to make sure everything is going to work, and then I'll shrink wrap it and I'll do another one for the other front speaker. Alright guys, so I got everything all mounted up in here and everything, and I got my tweeter in here. It's literally just sitting in there for now, but I just I showed you that connector I spliced into this, so that way everything would plug in seamlessly. And I just followed this and just kind of zip tied everything the same way. But if you guys know what that little module thing is that is soldered into this, let me know, because I'm curious why it's in here. But I just left it in here. I just zip tied it to the wiring harness right here, and everything is working good. So I'm gonna speed run through that side now, and then we'll hop on the back. Alright guys, so I got everything all buttoned up. I got the tweeters and the door speakers. I got those replaced on both sides, and they are working. This does sound like it does have a little bit of distortion to it. I don't know if I just gotta play with the EQ settings on the radio or whatever. But if I set certain things, or if I play certain songs, it kind of does sound like there's a little distortion, but it's not bad, but it does sound like there is a little bit. So I don't know if me splicing into that caused it, or if there is just some settings I need to change, because before I was just messing with the 4 speakers, and now I have 6 speakers, so the acoustics probably need to get dropped a little bit, because that's kind of what the tweeters do. But now we're gonna move into the back. Alright guys, so it's actually a few days later. I never finished doing the rear speakers on the car. It was starting to get dark, so I didn't want to record it while it was getting dark. But now that I got these, we do have to take off the entire rear interior of the car. So I'm gonna start doing that now. It's just a bunch of clips and stuff on the side panels, and then you should be able to pop off the back where the speakers are. So hopping in the back, we're gonna want to take off this panel here. We're gonna bring down these seats, and then I think there's a few clips holding on this panel, and then we should be able to flip that or pull it away so we can actually get access to where the speakers are all the way in the back. I got this popped off. All I do is pretty much, this panel kind of gets popped off a little bit. You don't have to take it all the way off. And then there's going to be 2 panels here that pretty much come off as one piece. And you'll do that on both sides there. And then this piece is just clipped in there with a few clips. Just kind of pull up on it. It is a little hard to pull up, but just pull up on it, and then now we have access to our speakers. So these actually do look like they've been replaced before in the past. They are Pioneer, and the screws are not where they're supposed to be. There should be 4 screws on the top, and they're gone. And I've noticed that whoever replaced these screwed them in from the bottom. So I'm gonna unbolt these now on both sides, and we should be able to pop these out. I got the old ones out of here. Like I said, they were Pioneer, so they've been changed before. And whoever did it, I don't know how they spliced into it, but I'm just gonna leave it because I noticed that these right here are only for the front speakers or the door speakers, so these aren't gonna work for the rear ones. But this is a completely different plug, but I'm just going to unplug what they got and then just plug it into mine. And then, but one thing I noticed about these Pioneers versus what I got, the JBLs, the magnet for the speakers are a lot bigger than the ones that are on the Pioneer ones. So, but something I noticed, I'm not any audiophile type of person, so I don't know much about this, but these say these are 420 watt max, 60 watt nominal. I'm not sure. Versus the The JBL ones are 100 watt continuous average and then 300 watt peak. So these don't have as high of a peak, but they do have a higher continuous or constant. So I'm assuming that these are going to be better than what these were. So I'm just going to unplug these. Hopefully mounting these is going to be pretty easy, and I won't have to do any weird mounting. Hopefully I might be able to use the same holes that they did. I don't know. We'll see. If not, I might have to drill some holes or find a way to mount these on there. I got this speaker mounted in here. It's probably not the best mounted in here. I only got 2 screws in here. But definitely, I would definitely say I would recommend you try to find brackets for these to use the factory holes for the threaded pieces. Because trying to drill a hole and get everything to line up perfectly is not easy. I ended up using 1 screw that lined up with a hole, and then I had to drill from the bottom side in the trunk because there's no room in here to get a drill, so I drilled from underneath. One of their screws and one of these little like washer things to help, and I had to use a ratchet obviously because there's no room to get a drill in here, so I had to use a ratchet with the little attachment on it and just torque it down until it got tight, and now it's all plugged in. So this one, I'm definitely probably going to look for some brackets so I can actually get these mounted in here better, because I definitely feel like these will probably start to rattle in the future. So definitely going to look for some brackets to use all 4 holes and mount it. So now I'm going to do the other side, and hopefully this side will come out just as easy, and then we should be done with the speaker upgrade, and we'll see how good everything sounds. So just with the front speakers and the tweeters, I definitely have to say there's a nice difference. But now, hopefully having these, it'll be a little bit more bass, and then we'll have a really nice sound system in this Corolla. Alright, so hopping in the Corolla, I finally got everything all situated with these speakers. Everything works, everything sounds good. I'm not going to really play anything over the camera because the audio really doesn't pick up like the quality of these speakers. So I do say that it does have a lot more higher end than lower end. So, but having the sub really helps even everything out. I will have to kind of tune things and get everything good. As for any of the little distortion I was hearing at the beginning, I messed with the equalizer settings on the radio and everything sounds really good. So it sounds pretty clear. I have no complaints about these speakers. So if you guys are interested in picking up these speakers, I will put a link down below for these speakers and also the adapters I used for the front doors. I don't know what adapters to get for the back ones. I will do a little bit more research if I can find them. I also will put a link down below. But with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are new, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.